Hi guys, it's Elizabeth. We are going to talk about money today and beliefs and lack of consciousness. And I'm really feeling very cocky today. So I'm actually going to challenge you a little bit and possibly push your triggers and your buttons and move you out of your comfort zone. When I was starting out, right, and I wanted to move into creating a business and being of service, I had my parents, what we call their consciousness of lack, their belief systems around money, which was to be very thrifty, don't spend it on anything. Hang on, there we go. Don't spend it, don't waste it, and that we really didn't have any, right? So when you grow up like that, then I was growing up going to all the discount stores, trying to find all the sales, and then always feeling like I had to settle. I always had to settle for everything which was less than what I wanted. So if I wanted something that, like a blouse, or I remember buying my first $79 blouse, and I purchased it, and I had so much buyer's regret because I usually, my limit was $25 because that's what I thought I could afford. So we have what's called this consciousness of lack, and I talk about this in one of my videos on YouTube, which is the healer grid. It's the healer's grid for most healers and coaches who have issues with poverty consciousness or lack consciousness or whatever you want to call it, consciousness. It is a set of beliefs, thoughts, and feelings that tell you, or limiting beliefs around money. Okay, and so a lot of us on the planet have that. It is part of the mass consciousness grid. It is part of the system of the mass consciousness that tells us there's not enough. And we are raised in that consciousness. Society, it's a mass consciousness, so it's a societal grid, it's a cultural grid for some, it's a family grid, it's an ancestral grid, it's a past life grid. I mean, there's a lot of grids that go with it, but it is a grid, and a grid means it is a set pattern of thoughts, feelings, and beliefs that you buy into and that you believe belong to you and that are yours. And so what you do is you believe that you have self-limits around money. Okay, and so this is that lack consciousness. So that grid appears, right? We are so programmed and patterned to believe it that it shows up for us in our outer world. So if you're holding a conscious belief that there is not enough, that you can't afford it, that you have to settle for less because you don't have the money or whatever it is to buy whatever it is, in my case it was that $80 blouse, then the world, the outer world, your reality, so to speak, the reflection of your inner world, will just remind you that everything that you believe is true. So you are being reflected back to you all the ways in which you don't have enough, that there's not enough money, and that you can't afford that blouse. Or in my case, it's that blouse, that damn blouse. So these are belief systems, these are constructs. These are limiting self-beliefs. These are pieces that can be shifted. Okay, let me just repeat that again. They can be shifted, but we are so addicted to the pattern of not enough and there's no money that it's really very hard for some people to pull yourself out of that. And I can tell you from experience, and I wrote this earlier in a blog today, or on Facebook today, I had this system. I grew up the same way, right? With the thrifty parents who were penny pinching, right? So I understand what it felt like, right? Because my outer world kept reaffirming to me over and over and over how there wasn't enough, how I didn't have the money, how I couldn't make it happen. It is an internal belief. This external thing is just reflecting to you what you're holding internally. When I started shifting how I felt internally about money, about how I do have enough, and how I can align myself with whatever, laws of attraction, your alignment, your soul, your essence, the universe, that I can change it. And so This is, these are the belief systems that I keep speaking about over and over and over again. And the more you align with those beliefs, the more you keep saying, yes, but this is true. You make it true, okay? The more you make it true, the harder it is to unravel and the more difficult it is to see another version of it, to see the possibility of it. And in this group, we talk about being soulfully aligned minds, right? It's aligning your mind with your soul, making those two a partnership so that you can actually take away all the beliefs that are false, that you've taken on, that you believe are true. And I know you do, because you keep looking in your outer reality for the truth, and it's just a reflection of what it is that you're holding internally. So if you're having these lack beliefs, these consciousness, these I'm poor, I can't do it beliefs, it is an indicator that you're holding that internally, and that is where the work begins. The outer world is a reflection of what you need to start working on internally, okay? So there's two things, okay? Number one, it is a consciousness grid, okay? It's a set of belief systems we buy and sell to ourselves, and then we believe it. And the more we believe it, the more the outer world will show us that it is true. The second piece is that belief system can be completely recalibrated and brought into alignment to what is true for you, your essence, and your business. You can unprogram all the crap you took on from your parents. You can remove them. You can create alignment. You can raise your vibration. You can deprogram yourself from everything that your parents, everything, your teachers, your gurus, whoever has taught you. You can unravel the mind and get soulfully aligned, okay? So there are some other pieces as to why people have problems with this, okay? And it's not just the lack consciousness grid and you believing it, but that is huge, because if you believe it, the universe will show it to you. But the second piece is there's a fear. There's underlying fear that you're not going to be supported. The universe is not going to deliver to you. You're not good enough. You're not worthy enough. I don't believe spirit is a resource, okay? There's that belief. People really just don't believe that spirit's going to help you out. There's a trust issue, right? There's the vibration in your frequency, right? We talk about this in our Mystic Money Shift courses. If you're vibrating and you're attracting, which means when you vibrate and you raise your frequency, that means you raise your belief systems and how you feel to that level as well. That doesn't just mean you raise your vibrations and you keep your belief systems, because that doesn't work. Because when you raise your vibration and you raise your frequency, then your belief systems will have to follow as well. So what you believe at this higher frequency also gets reflected to you. So if I believe that I can draw in enough clients to pay for Colette Baron Reid's next class, then I believe that, the world shows that to me, I get my clients, and I go to San Diego. That's how it works. You can undo that. But now here's the other piece. A lot of people have the victim mentality. Lack consciousness and victim mentality go hand in hand. And what that sounds like is, I'm not good enough. People are always getting it better than me. I really believe that I just don't have the money because of whatever reason that you're telling yourself that happens from that consciousness, and I'll never be able to make it happen. Well, if you don't believe that you can make it happen, it won't happen. This is about what you believe, okay? The law of attraction is about how you feel and what you believe, and if you are an energetic match to those things. Victim mentality is probably one of the lowest vibrations on the map, okay? It's right down there with pain, drama, suffering, and something else that I can't think of at the moment. That is the energy of how everything doesn't work for you. And if you're in that energy, then guess what's going to happen? Nothing is going to work for you, because that's what you're believing. So when you align with yourself, Raise your vibration, align, start peeling away these layers from this consciousness grid that you've taken on. Start changing your beliefs into I can't, from I can't to I can, and show me how. So there's thing that they're showing me. It's like, don't tell me how I can't do it. Tell me how I can do it. Right? So if you want to do something, don't tell me how you can't do it. Tell me how you can do it. So these are just kind of the examples that if you get out of your own way, if you start changing your perceptions and stop believing what it is that you're believing about how you can't do anything, you can start to see the changes shift. And now, granted, I remember at that point in time when I first started, you could not convince me that I had money that I didn't have. There was no way you were going to convince me of that, because my outer world was showing me over and over and over again how I did not have it. And I didn't believe that I did have it internally, that my essence can create it, that spirit can show it to me, that I can create it, that I had the power to create it, that I had the power to destroy and recalibrate the belief systems that said that I had to be poor, that I couldn't have it, and that it wasn't enough. You could not convince me. It took me 4 years to believe it. One piece after one experience, until I was finally able to see, holy crap, these are my parents' beliefs, these are my ancestors' beliefs. I can create, I can co-align with the universe. The universe is working out for me. So I understand where you're coming from when you feel as if there's not enough, it's not here, it's not showing, my bank account says there's $0 in it. But you have to remember, that is a belief shift. You can shift that belief. You can get that help. You can make the shift, because let me tell you, if I can do it, and I was entrenched in total victimization, because that's what my parents had, right? And move out of it, then you can too. Make your essence, make your soul, make the universe your ally. Stop fighting against it. Energy wants to bring you everything. The universe wants to deliver everything. The stopping mechanism happens here.